against me. I mean, I guess not that heavily. Like they didn't try to prevent me from playing a lot and like trying to go pro, but they were not in favor, let's say. Eventually they accepted it once I started winning 30k at WG. I think that made it a little easier.
Yeah, well, being able to, you know, support yourself, that's what parents all worry about, right? Whether or not the kids can support themselves.
All right, I'm chewing a little bit, so I'll let you take over for a moment. If you want, I'll be a bit quiet for a minute.
All right, so who are the players I'm seeing? Sheik and Odinsgar? Is this? Oh, well,
Odin is Deathnote.
Oh, okay, yeah, Deathnote. So on Terranistan, we have Deathnote versus Sheik. Deathnote spawning as the yellow human player over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, opening up with Altar of Kings, Barracks, and a farm. Meanwhile, Sheik is opening up Necropolis with, Crypt, Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat. No crazy Tavern Hero openings at all. And actually, I wanted to get your opinion on this, ToD. The Terranistan rearrangement. What are your thoughts on it? I know this was like over a year ago, but it feels like there's like the actual base is a lot smaller, making it harder for undead to like put down buildings and easier to wall in. Do you like the base in the corners, or did you like it when the observatories were in the corner?
I think the map is much better now, personally. It still could need some improvement. I mean, almost every map could, but yeah, I think I like it. You know, like Terranistan is not known as the most balanced necessarily. In fact, it might be one of the more imbalanced maps. But there are still certain matchups that it's played in. I would say what I don't like is the RNG, you know, with the first camp that you do. You got very clear good items, usually the mana ones, and less good ones like Greater Invuln or Scroll of the Beast. That kind of bothers me. But the map itself, I kind of like. You know, obviously it's a very specific map with a very easy expand to take and protect because it's kind of in the dead end and how to attack. But I like it for sure. It's one of my favorite maps. I would say still. I think maybe they could have kept it so that they didn't add critters on it though. You know, it used to be the only map on which there was no critters. And then undeads were already doing really well, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna add critters." It's like, come on.
Yeah, because that's what Undead needs, a bunch of skeletons all over the place. All right, so what do you think about this Dreadlord opening first here for this fast expand over the Crypt Lord? Why sleep instead of, you know, power overwhelming with the beetles and impale?
So when you play this, you want to go, you want to power level Carrion Swarm, and eventually get Infernal as well. The Dreadlord is great to expo with because of that first sleep. And yeah, Sheik is just very good at these expanding styles. He loves Necromancer, so I actually wonder if he might go Necros here.
All right, so expansion, Ziggurat up first. That will obviously be converted to a Nerubian Tower. Archmage looks like he's going to be trying to do a fast expansion as well. Militia already getting in position, and Sheik having a good eye on all of this information as well, as we're going to be seeing Archmage drop some water elementals. And, well, it looks like both sides are just going to stay on their side of the river, so to speak, and try and play a long macro game here. All right.
You know, Crystal Ball is not a very good item, but when you drop it first like this, when you straight expo the passive game, it actually gives you some pretty good info. Then you don't even need to scout anymore with like skeletons and stuff. Yeah, he stole his Troll Berserker. You see that?
Wait, what?
Did he? It's in the center of the map right now.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So did he grab it? Like, Acolyte stole the Troll Berserker, getting that little bit of extra damage. And yeah, that Troll Berserker early stage, its damage
is so the Archmage canceled the expo. I just saw.
Wait, what?
He sent a footman, he bought staff, he staffed to the expo and canceled it. This is big because now this puts a lot of pressure on Sheik to make something happen. But Deathnote's powered the tower on his expo.
Oh yeah, so
he's actually not even starting the expo. He's so scared about the attack.
All right, so yeah, Archmage double water elemental. That's going to be enough piercing damage to stop here. And what is going on? Archmage is just trying to sneak away. That Nerubian Tower is going to slow him down. Are we going to see a sleep on and then perhaps try to get a surround here down to 86 hit points? The Carrion Swarm could try and finish it off. No, Archmage able to get away. Scroll of Town Portal used right there as the Dreadlord does get to level 3. And both sides don't... No, I take it back. Deathnote, Yeah, Expo is back up. It looked like the peasants were walking back for a little bit, but Sheik does get enough
He's gonna
information.
stuff. He has Dreadlord level 3. He's gonna stuff and try and kill a lot. Actually, he doesn't have a unit very near, but he's sending an acolyte. This Archmage is in real danger, so he's healing up. Carrion Swarm on peasants. Are you ready?
Oh, that's gonna be really bad there. Archmage also down to 200, and there's the. Are we gonna see a carry-on swarm right there? Yes, there it goes down to 134. He's trying to get away. Forceful Shadow Priest trying to absorb his or take away as much of that damage as possible. Archmage down to 96, but the Dreadlord gonna finish off the Troll Shadow Priest instead, going for the other target there as the Archmage is just trying to hide away from that carry-on swarm. Archmage does have Cloak of Shadows, which is useful even during the day now, as we're looking at a slight engagement again. Archmage down to 117 hit points. Dreadlord down to 32, and there's a sleep in the middle of the Cloak of Shadows. Unable to break sleep. Is he going to be able to get away? Oh, his own peasant takes him out. A critter block? No, a peasant block as the Archmage falls at level 3, and the Dreadlord now needs to return home.
The betrayal. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. If at least he had forced an extra Carrion, he would have still lost Archmage, but these freaking peasants. You know, Deathnote is a pretty emotional guy. He's known for like that Dispel clip, where like the priests are not dispelling and he's shouting, Dispel, Dispel, idiots. I'm pretty sure he shouted just now when that peasant blocked him.
Yeah.
Move!
Oh. Okay, so now that, well, behind this, Sheik hasn't teched to tier 2 yet, and Archmage Deathnote's already halfway there, so I think that Deathnote still has an easier follow-up here. Archmage was resurrected at the tavern as the Forceful Shadow Priest needs to get away as well. Dreadlord gets another sleep on the Archmage. Archmage down to 115 hit points, 1 or 2 more hits, down to 6. Is he going to be able to... Goblin Zeppelin is going to fly the unfriendly skies, running around the corner. Oh, so close, Goblin Shredder. Deathnote loses his Archmage for a second time in as many minutes. And Sheik is just pulling ahead. He has the hero level advantage by far. He is now teching the tier 2. Archmage, it looks like it's going to get resurrected at the tavern again. And even at level 3, it's not cheap. You can't just be throwing all of your gold there, as ghouls are now swarming over here at the expansion.
Yeah, this is getting really expensive. All this Archmage reviving, level 3 no less. Dreadlord already being level 4 is so scary because that means that he can just creep, get level 5, and then that's when the Carrion Swarm really hurts and pushes him to level 6 very quickly.
Yeah, behind this...
But the tech was not fast from Sheik.
All right, so behind this, Deathnote needs to get to Spellbreakers before, and then hopefully be able to absorb some of that carry-on swarm. He can't train footmen here, but it looks like there's just so much damage just from this Dreadlord and these Force Troll Berserkers that Deathnote wants to build an army. Are we going Arcanes?
He needs to play more passive. He's too aggressive.
We're going for Mountain Coin, going quick tech into tier 3. We're going Castle already.
Yeah, I'm not sure what army he wants to get. I know that Deathnote likes to get, against Creeplord, he plays a lot of like Breaker plus Griffins.
Okay.
But I don't know against Dreadlord, like, I mean, he should scout first of all. He should try and see what Sheik's doing and then counter that as best as possible. Like I said, if it's Necromancers, you probably shouldn't go air. So yeah, he needs to scout, but he's really short on lumber. So he's getting the lumber upgrade now. And he's busy defending now.
Alright. Dreadlord is what, 5 or 9 experience shy from level 5, right? When that carry-on swarm is going to really click in. It looks like we're going into... No, still no Necropolis back at home, but we are getting a Death Knight second, so it's not a solo Dreadlord. But Archmage is at level 3 and level 1, and I think Deathnote is... I think he's a little mentally trapped. He's not sure what he wants to do yet. He like stopped building on his Blacksmith and his Arcane Vault back at home for a long time, and it looks like he's choosing to go into Arcane Sanctum and workshops for flying machines.
Yeah, it's kind of the standard nowadays. You cannot go for like heavy barracks units. You'll mix in some knights, but you need breakers usually. If there's necromancers, you'll need priests. You need flying machines to counter destroyers and mortars to counter like banshees or necros, for example. But Sheik is dropping down 2 slaughterhouses. I really like the timing on the DK as he kills a bunch of peasants at the expo. He dodged the Stormbolt, very nicely done actually here with the Zeppelin.
Yep. Arcane Tower focusing, trying to remove the mana from the Dreadlord. We should see some more Carrion Swarms ripping through there, trying to take down more of those units as well. And Archmage Mountain King not having an easy time getting to that back line. The Scroll of the Beast also helping with damage, and the Mountain King taking a lot more damage than I would have expected, as well as the Goblin Zeppelin now being forced away by the Water Elemental, trying to well, stop this drop or force a Scroll of Town Portal. Dreadlord still eating up a lot of damage. Archmage down to, well, buys a Potion of Healing and uses it just in time there, as the Scroll of Regeneration being used as well. All right, Staff of Teleportation coming in. It looks like the Death Knight's going to show up to the party, perhaps trying to get a Death Coil off on the Archmage. Archmage is still fighting.
He has double mana pot.
Mana pot,
he's delivering double mana pot. Oh, he dropped one on the floor. Oh my god.
Who picked it up?
Deathnote needs to force a TP right now, because like if those mana pots are used, he might lose a lot more units. He's already lost so many peasants to this, and he already had no wood prior to this either. Dreadlord getting closer and closer to 6. He's almost 5.5 now.
Yep. Arcane Tower starting to feed back, trying to remove mana from the Death Knight. Are we going to see a Death Coil on the Mountain King? Dreadlord still has, well, only what, Potion of Western Vulnerability on the Mountain King. Mountain King going to be able to hold its own. No Stormbolt onto that Dreadlord. I would have thought a Stormbolt there, but it really feels like Sheik maybe overstaying his welcome a little bit too long here. Deathnote doing a great job holding his own, using the Arcane Vault to his advantage, and the Dreadlord gets taken out.
Okay, that was not supposed to happen. Perfectly timed Stormbolt. Sheik overextended. That was the Dreadlord levels 5. Almost 6 that's gonna go down. Almost 6. And now he loses the DK immediately behind. MK, he hadn't crept a single camp. He literally just went here and he's almost level 3. What the hell was that?
I don't know. Sheik is sitting on a large amount of gold. You can't count him out, but giving that much free experience to that Mountain King and the Archmage, right? Those odd levels on the heroes, so important. And now, all of a sudden, Sheik is going to have to deal with either level 2 Clap or level 2 Stormbolt. Both things that, well, made the... Well, even without them, Deathnote was able to do a lot of damage. We are looking at, well, Dreadlord coming back in. He was resurrected at the tavern. Dreadlord's going to come in. There's a sleep onto the Archmage. Is he going to be able to force a surround? But there are knights here trying to break free, and the Dreadlord, once again, Stormbolt. Dreadlord down to 104 hit points, forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head back home.
Yeah, that was terrible. He killed one priest. When you instant revive a hero at the tavern, he comes back with 0 mana, so I don't know why he was even going there. Like, he had no mana potion, nothing. Like, that was never going to be good. He should have just waited for the DK and then started to creep on his side like he's doing now to try and get the DK to 3.
Yeah, he needs to get that odd level. He needs to be able to heal that Dreadlord, especially if he's leaving that Dreadlord up in the front. Dreadlord is invisible. It does have rune bracers, so maybe Sheik was thinking that the Stormbolt would protect him from being focused down too quickly. But no, Dreadlord is going to be trying to kill some peasants either at the main base or the expansion to try to get to 6, while the Death Knight plays around on the map to try to get to 3.
Oh, a flying machine at the right time flies in there to detect the invisible Dreadlord, but he's already Carrioned anyway. Goes for some peasant kills as Deathnote. Hey, actually, I think he wants to go towards the center. Maybe he's trying to catch the rest of the army. You always know that if you go there, the Dreadlord will... Yeah, there it is. Yeah. MK in the center doing some hunting on his own.
Oh yeah, catching some units in transit. Looks like the Ghoul gonna get taken out. Oh, Mountain King does have Boots of Speed. Should be able to catch up to that Ghoul pretty easily. Alright, so Destroyers are in the air. Archmage forcing the Scroll of Town Portal. Flying Machines trying to shoot down some of the Destroyers, but the Destroyers have mana. And as long as Destroyers have mana, Flying Machines versus Destroyers, the Destroyers normally win with that little bit of extra splash and bonus damage. We're looking at a Knight down here. Is he going to get woken up? As the flying machine, the giant squadron, going to go ahead and try and take down all of those destroyers. Death Knight only at level 2, not going to have that level 3 death foil that is needed to try and keep this army alive. Scroll of Healing being used as well, but it looks like one destroyer may end up, able to stay alive as it gets backed off at the last moment. Howl of Terror keeping the units alive as well, but the Mountain King is at 3. Paladin is at level 2, grabbing up a Divine Shield, taking down the Death Knight at level 2, as the Dreadlord looks to be overstaying. There is a Pit Lord here, another Howl of Terror perhaps, but Death Note now taking the supply lead, 45 to 36 here, as well. Sheik needs to get out of here, as this fight is not going to go his way with home field advantage for Death Note.
He still has a big invuln and Ankh, so he cannot really lose any of his heroes. If anything, the Archmage was the one in danger for a second, kind of running there. Deathnote needs to stop overreacting here. He has so many Flame Machines queued in this one workshop. He needs to go back to making some Knights fall to the ground. Trying to kill the Dreadlord. He's going to force the Town Portal out. Sheik was trying to kill some units until the last second. When you have this many Flame Machines, it would be a great time now to get Gyro Bomb and start killing buildings. But Deathnote's biggest problem, he has 1200 gold and 40 wood right now. So I think he probably should invest into a Shredder or like a new one, because he lost the previous one and he needs wood badly.
Yeah, I don't. Do you know if he got the level 2 lumber upgrade? I mean, with that much gold lumber disparity, he can't really build any other units.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he should either get that and get a couple peasants, or buy a Shredder with his next 100 lumber, which he just got. Yeah, there it is. So he just bought it. But it's gonna take a while to kick in. He's on 54 out of 54 against the Sheik, who, if he wanted, could get a lot of supply now as he's creeping and getting extra gold, and he's going into Abominations, which I don't think Deathnote's going to be ready for. Like, you might need some sorceresses to slow this down. And Dreadlord about to get 6 here at the Expo.
Yeah, Dreadlord already got off one carry on Swarm. The peasants purposely trying to keep their distance. And Dreadlord needs, what is that, 70 or 73 more experience, 14 more experience to get to level 6 and then be able to summon down those Infernos. But the Mountain King, the Archmage, and the Paladin should be able to push all of those units back here in a second. And I don't know, Archmage, well, I don't know, with that many flying machines, he really does need to go for those bombs. He's really... he's like, with that much supply just getting locked up in the air, only aiming at destroyers. I don't know. Do you think Sheik should even try to train up a destroyer or two at this point?
Probably not. There's too many Flame Machines. He can just like let them be there and useless. He has Carrion Swarm, so it's not like they're gonna start flying around and killing everything. Like one Carrion Swarm level 3 would kind of hurt on a big chunk of Flying Machines. But yeah, the problem is that the albums are not really being countered right now. Deathnote really knows. I think he sent a Wet Elemental in. He saw like 2 albums. And yeah, his woods issue hasn't been fixed yet. Like that Shredder has yet to come back to the tunnel and give him a lot of woods. But his hero levels are pretty scary. Like any kind of target fire is gonna be scary. I would like to see an orb though. He's completely skipped the orb entirely. I mean, it's been a chaotic game. And the Dreadlord did get level 6 before getting out here, so that means the next fight is going to be opened with a giant Infernal landing on the human army.
Yeah. Well, the Death Knight's still only sitting at level 2, so even if he got the Orb of Fire, the healing that you prevent isn't that much. Death Knight getting to level 3 is going to be key for Sheik before the next engagement, and I think the Paladin is also going to be at 3 as well, so... I don't know. Who do you think has the hero level advantage? Would you rather have 6-3-2 or 5-4-3? If I think that's what the next engagement's going to be.
Yeah, that 6 is a very scary one. The Infernal is really, really crazy. Such a good ulti.
Yeah, not being able to dispel it as well, and that AoE damage going to be very key.
Deathnote seeing the albums, he's scouting the Flame Machines, he's trying to go Griffins. So he's forcing an Aviary in his main base, but it's just so late. He's really trailing behind his supply right now. I almost would have liked to see him like just get 2 tanks or something to counter-attack. But those Flame Machines, I don't know if he made bombs, but now would be a good time to send them in to counter-attack as well. Because defense-wise, back at home, it's going to be so hard against this.
Yeah.
There's so many bombs.
Yeah, Flying Machine bombs are being researched now, but I think it's too little too late. The Abominations, especially with Disease Cloud, is going to just make things a little bit more difficult. And are we going to see a Stormbolt? Dreadlord waiting for that Infernal to be called down, and it doesn't seem like Deathnote wants to engage. He knows he can't pool up his units altogether. That stun is just going to be too much. The Infernal misses the stun, but is still attacking that back line.
He landed it behind you. That was some terrible aim. He landed it behind the Archmage. I expected him to land it on like everything, but kind of whiffed there. Mountain King almost surrounded. This could be bad. He needs to break out of there. There's still so many Carrion Swarm. He sleeps the Archmage to prevent any staff or Town Hall or just preventing Deathnotes from being able to pull back. Yeah, targeting the Dreadlord, but like I said, there is no orb.
Yep.
So he's getting the full effect from this Death Coil here. Deathnote TPs in panic. The Paladin. Oh my god, he's gonna resurrect in the middle of the army.
Oh, resurrected there. It's just going to be surrounded. Death Knight, or excuse me, Paladin, going to end up just getting stuck once more. There's a, a poke or the Divine Shield. Is he going to get staffed out? Oh, wait for it.
Oh, he should have healed his Archmage first. There's still a bit of Divine Shield time.
Yep.
Infernal in the Expo. Wrecking havoc. Griffin on the way. Sheik thinking about diving that Paladin, but pretty ambitious with the towers there. He's trying to get on top of the Archmage again. Deathnote is to pull back. He needs to get behind towers here and pray that Sheik messes up.
Yep. Sheik holding that Infernal, making sure that there's no mining at the expansion. Abominations here, a little bit, it almost feels like it's too much. They're unable to get behind or into the actual base, causing a little bit of problems. Another Scroll of Town Portal just trying to teleport behind that gold mine, but that's going to open things up for the Town Hall to get pressured by the Abominations. The Abominations now surrounding that Town Hall. That Town Hall looks like it's going to fall. No easy repairs at all, as the Paladin is now back out onto the battlefield, able to get in some heals as well. Paladin going after Abomination. A Divine Shield once again being used. Death Knight needs to heal or save an Abomination. Not going to happen as the Griffins finally start doing their job. But it seems like the lines are just falling all over the place. A Destroyer jumps into the air only to get shot down a split second later by the Flying Machines.
Oh my god, he blew up the decay. Maltaki could be exposed in a second. He staffs him. Paladin stuck. Cloak of Shadows. Oh my god, he didn't have time to use it. Griffin's still going to work. Archmage is trapped in a corner between some bombs. He could maybe staff out. There's a sleep anyway. He can't. I mean, he could afford a TP, but at this point, it's getting really expensive. Spamming those town portals to try and escape. Griffin's going to work on the bombs. Sheik has a third base in the meantime. He could go into so many gargoyles if he wanted to get rid of these Griffins, but they're still flying machines.
Yep, Griffin's
the Archmage.
Oh, Archmage down to 50 hit points, is going to stay alive, down to 41, trying to run away to the very far back. Pit Lord gets there, gets a swipe, not able to take it down as the Priest is trying to heal, and it looks like the Archmage is still going to fall. Dreadlord still staying at 6, Pit Lord getting closer to 4, the Flying Machines able to take down Gargoyles. You cannot get air superiority one at a time against this many Flying Machines, but the battle on the ground and the carry-on swarm is just ripping through so many of those Flying Machines and Griffins that it feels like it almost doesn't matter.
Maltaki got level 5 somehow. The Flame Machines need to intervene here. Yeah, Gargoyle gonna get sniped. There's not enough mana for Carrion. Dreadlords, worst case scenario, he can't pull it out. He's probably gonna have to use that, yeah. Not gonna risk getting blown up here yet again. And Deathnote is mined out on the main base. Sheik is taking the base in the bottom left.
Alright, so right now it's going to be 1 base to 3 Sheik holding his natural expo, holding the top right, and we'll know if Deathnote tries to take the bottom left. Supply is 46 to 44, and it feels like I just watched a very extra long round in a UFC battle. Everyone's just bloody. Everyone has like broken bones. They're trying to go into their corner. Infernal being called in again to take down. Is it gonna get a Knight? It gets. Oh no! Knight goes down to 2 hit points, as the Infernal is just gonna use its body to try and stop some of the mining right here and deal damage once again. The Griffin Rider is just looking at it. Oh, the Knight, is it going to accidentally walk in? No, but the Infernal should be able to at least deal a little bit more damage. And Flying Machines getting ripped apart. Carry-on Swarm ripping through the Flying Machines that were hiding above the trees again.
Oh my god. The Infernal, he kills the Mountain King with a Carrion. And that's it, Sheik wins game number 1. What a crazy game we just saw.
I don't know how to recap that game.
Just UFC war.
Yeah.